Hello once again to Armored Academy of Arizona. I'm Rick, and I've got another video breakdown. We've got a hilarious trip where I totally eat dirt or gravel, and can't wait to show you me falling down. So here we got our round set up. We've got Matt, Vince, and Daniel, and then on the other side we've got Jeremy, Skylar, and me. And we're going to go ahead and see how this round goes. I'll play it through and then I will get into the nitty-gritty. So here we go. Audience is ready. Alright, fighting. So come in, take a charge, totally go down like a tool. Got a good lineup here. Jeremy's being difficult to get. Now he's stuck in a 2-on-1 against the rail. He's getting bent. He's just barely staying up. Look at that. He's tripping over me. Got Skylar fighting Matt. Skylar sees an opportunity. Takes Vince's leg out, which actually takes Jeremy down. Now he's in a 2-on-1. Kind of not doing a lot here. Matt's hanging on to the rail a little too much. He's yelling pull. Pulls, they both go down. Daniel's the winner. So let's go back through this. Nitty gritty. Be sure to hit subscribe. And here we go. Start a few seconds in. Alright. Alright. Audience is so ready. Alright. Coming in, and I totally eat it. So let's take a look at what happened here. Now I can tell you, because I was thinking about this as I was coming up, I saw there's a pretty decent gap here. You know, I thought anyways. So the general idea is you want to be, if you're Vince, who's currently playing as Matt's wing, what you want to do is you want to stay about 2 steps away from your buddy. This is not a huge list. This is 20 by 30, so it's a little bit small. But so he's in the middle of the list, but he's still about 2 steps away. So 1, 2, and now he's there. I try to shoot that gap. I run out of space, so I try to bounce off of Vince and get by, but I don't get by. You know, Matt does a very simple little put his leg out and trip me, and meanwhile Vince is trying to stop me, so my attention's pretty well split. I don't really know what's going on. If I tried to kick my right leg way out, I would have just run into Vince. I would still fall down. So this was just all kinds of bad judgment on my part. So let's go past it. Boom. Vince actually got his axe a little bit hung up on me, and he almost came with me, but he did a good job of pulling out and turning around. And now we've got Jeremy here. He's been sitting back looking for an opportunity. He hasn't had one because Daniel's here making sure that he doesn't, you know, if he goes this way, Daniel's going to hit him in the back. If he goes that way, then he might, you know, first of all, he doesn't have a good play on Daniel, and second of all, if he gets tied up with Daniel, then his back's going to be open to one of these guys. So he's checking things out. Skylar's over here. He's not really doing much. Like, now that I'm on the ground, his obvious play is to push Matt over me, but he's, you know, keeping an eye out because he doesn't want to end up in a 2-on-1. That was not a real hit. Sorry, Vince. Use your hips. That's just something for Skylar to think about. It doesn't hurt. It's nothing. It's just sound. So now Daniel closed in on Jeremy. Jeremy shoots the gap. And what he's doing here is he's lining these two guys up. You can fight lots of people at the same time as long as you're only fighting one at a time. So if he gets them in a line, whoever's in the back of the line has to move around the other person. And so he's trying to keep them lined up. He runs over, he hits Matt. Not a good hit, and now he's stuck on me. So he's gonna get stuck in a weird position. So Vince is pushing on him, trying to shove him down on me to get him to fall the rest of the way. Daniel comes over to help. It's just not happening. Meanwhile, in the back here, we've got Skylar and Matt. Nothing's happening in the back here with Skylar and Matt. So they need, they each need to figure something out. But Skylar keeps looking over, and from this angle, it's hard to see. But we can know pretty certainly that Vince is just as stretched out as Jeremy. So he's leaning on Jeremy. He's essentially pinning Jeremy to that rail, which means that all of his weight is probably on one foot, and it's at a big angle, and Skylar can see that. So he comes over, big chop kick to that leg that's holding up Jeremy, or holding up Vince. So Vince falls down, but Vince has a good hold on Jeremy, and Jeremy doesn't have good purchase to keep himself up. So they go down together. Now it's a 2-on-1 with Skylar in the middle. Skylar, before we saw Jeremy lining people up, that's what Skylar, either he needs to line them up or he needs to get a throw right away. His most obvious target would be Daniel, because Daniel's out in the list, whereas Matt is up against the rail. So Matt could use that rail to keep himself up. So Skylar really needs to get a throw. And with Daniel's arm nice and high, he could get an underhook here. He could get his leg across to do a pretty good throw. But instead, he's just letting Daniel collapse in on him. Now he's tied up. He's stuck on this rail, so he's fortunate neither one of these guys have a big two-handed weapon that they can unload on him with, because the play here would be for one person to hold him and the other person to just beat him until his armor falls apart or he decides to take a knee. What we can see here is that Daniel has stretched out Skylar's arm. He's got Skylar pretty much committed down towards this corner. Matt, we can't see it very well, but Matt is trying to suck up a leg using his leg. So he's going to trap one of Skylar's legs with his leg, and the idea here is that Skylar can't move his feet anymore because he's only got one leg on the ground, and then Daniel pulls him. Eventually Skylar's going to get off balance and fall down. And it works. Now Matt is pretty committed into pushing, and that gets him. Now we can see here that Matt is holding the rail. Once again, some leagues you can hold the rail as long as you want, and those leagues have a nice wide rail. It's called a tabletop, and so his arm would be all the way out here, which would be a nice target for someone to hit. So it's a bad idea to hold the rail. In other leagues, you're not allowed to hold for more than 3 seconds. So it may be that Matt actually held on a little too long here, but ultimately I don't think it affected the outcome of this match, because I don't see Skylar putting on any throws or moves to get out of this. And so they're just kind of working together. Eventually they're going to get it. Matt ended up falling down with Skylar. It's kind of okay though, because this is the end of the round. So Daniel's the last one up. Daniel is the winner. So hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Once again, hit subscribe, come out and train with us if you're in the Arizona Phoenix metro area, and we'll catch you next time.